Hey everybody! I hope you're having an awesome Wednesday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And as you know, Wednesdays are our days that we let some spirit wisdom flow through. So I'm so happy you're here. If you're here with me live, make sure you leave a comment so I can see. Spirit likes to do some week ahead messages. So if you have any specific questions for the week ahead, make sure you include them and I can channel some messages for you at the end here. But if you are new to me, my name is Meredith with the Healing Hummingbird. And what I love to do with my heart-centered business is support spiritual go-getters and healers to reclaim their power and heal themselves so that they can then embody the way of the hummingbird, which is one of, it's like magical, beautiful energy. The hummingbird says yes to spirit. Hi, Dawn. I see your comment there. So happy to see you live. But again, with that hummingbird energy, and it's just about hummingbird time. I saw my first one of the year this year. They say yes to spirit. They heed the call and they take off on this journey. They're so small, they're not even like logically supposed to be able to fly, but they go for hundreds and hundreds of miles, not knowing where their next flower is going to be. So to embody that brave heart, beautiful energy is my goal in supporting my clients. So for this week's Spirit Wisdom Wednesday, Spirit wanted to talk about growing your connection with spirit. Now ahead of time, they gave me 4 pointers they wanted me to share. But as usual, I've invited them into the healing space today. So they may interrupt me to give me more. So just keep that in mind. Sometimes they like to communicate with us, making the lights flicker, fun stuff like that. Okay, so let's get started. So the first step in growing your connection with spirit, they would like you to know, is just saying yes, just like the hummingbird does. And it's like planting a seed. So it's the first step by saying, you know what? I want this to be a regular part of my life. Maybe you're somebody who's had just some experiences and you're kind of like, I've seen some interesting coincidences or synchronicities around me. You might be more interested in communicating with spirit regularly. So allowing spirit to be part of your life is the backbone of building the relationship with them, right? So another part of that, of sowing the seeds, would be taking the time to talk to them and also to listen to them. So it could be, if you want to have like a meeting with your spirit guides, you could spend the first half talking to them, letting them know how the day went, things that you're going through, questions that you might have. And then you could take the second half to clear your mind and allow some messages to come through. Or they're reminding me, another good way to receive messages if you're feeling blocked for some reason is to invite them to communicate with you during dream time or right between sleep and wakefulness. So right as you're waking up, right as you're falling asleep, sometimes they'll communicate with us then. And also, they want to let you know to accept the signs and synchronicities as they come. I've been around a couple of friends and, I've done this too. I think all of us do it, but we'll perceive this sign or this beautiful thing, maybe like a hawk will like sweep down and like fly right in front of the car. And then, as soon as your awe just stops, you're like, oh, well, the hawks are active this time of day. Spirit's like, no, just take the sign, celebrate the sign. And that brings us to the second point they want to talk about is giving them feedback, which is nurturing the relationship. If you're looking at it as like a plant, this would be like food and water and sunlight. So instead of questioning things, which is easy to do, but you could just throw it out there to them like, thank you so much for this sign. I saw your hawk yesterday. I loved seeing that. Or sometimes spirit will give you a heads up about things. And you could say, thank you so much for the heads up. I really appreciate it. Or if you're having trouble, maybe you're kind of circling around the same issue in your life over and over, something that you could do that they'd like you to know is just say, honestly, Spirit, I haven't been able to perceive an answer to this question. Could we talk about it again? Or could you send me an answer in a different way? You know, sometimes they'll communicate with us visually, or maybe you'll hear Spirit or feel Spirit, like a tap on the shoulder. Sometimes it's a deep knowing, and that can be a little bit tricky to kind of differentiate. Was that Spirit or was that me? But carving out a specific time of day that you talk to Spirit will help clarify that. So it's not just like a bunch of thoughts running through your head. You know, it can become more clearer, like, well, I was talking to Spirit for just these 5 minutes, and this is when the answer came. So that's how I know the answer is what it is. Now, the third thing they'd like you to know about growing your connection with Spirit is releasing expectation and judgment. So this would be the part where you step back and you let the seedling do its thing. So like we just said, messages come in many different ways. And if you're so focused on, maybe you're a seer, you know, I tend to get a lot of messages in visuals as well. But if I become too fixated on seeing the answer, maybe they're saying the answer out loud and I'm not hearing it. So just releasing that expectation of how the message is going to come will allow it to come in faster and clearer. A beautiful example of this they're reminding me of is last week I was talking to my grandmother in Spirit, and I had just come from the graveyard. I was visiting her grave for Mother's Day, and I was walking in a hallway indoors with my mom, and I suddenly smelled all these fresh flowers. It was like someone was shoving like a bouquet of flowers right in my face. And I stopped and I was like, oh my gosh, Mom, what does that smell? Do you smell all those flowers? And she just looked at me. She's like, no, it smells like cleaning fluid in here. So I knew that was my grandmother in Spirit talking to me, saying, I was with you. I'm with you right now. Thank you for visiting. And now the fourth and last point about growing your connection with Spirit is not only connecting with Spirit directly, but also connecting with others who are spiritual as well. And this is like maintaining the healthy plant. So this would be like, you know, you fertilize it every once in a while. So like-minded people around you is just invaluable. I mean, it's tough to build a relationship with Spirit if you're surrounded by people who are, you know, doubtful, or, you know, you just need somebody to talk to about it every once in a while. And finding these, a lot of times I'll see them on Facebook as like a high vibe tribe, but in all seriousness, you know, finding people who operate on love and light is so important for your vitality, and also for your connection with Spirit. It just helps. They're making me feel like it's like ringing a bell. So it's like clearing the space. If there's any like fog of doubt, sometimes connecting with other people can just help energize that connection with them. So this could be a trusted friend who understands. This could be a mentor. And also it can really help keep you accountable too. So sometimes you can become stuck and kind of forget. If you're anything like me, you'll try to do things all by yourself. And you'll kind of forget, oh, I have this Spirit team with me who can help me with things. And sometimes your friends and your like-minded fellow spiritual people can help remind you of that. So those were the main points that Spirit wanted to share with growing your connection with them. So for our messages for the week, since we're talking about growing, and I've been spending a lot of time in my garden, I wanted to use this botanical deck. So we'll have some flowers for our week ahead messages. And if you just want to take a moment with me to tune in to your heart space and invite your spirit guides around you, we'll just take a deep breath in together. So it's just a deep inhale in and a slow exhale out. Just ask your spirit guides which crystal holds your message for the week. I have here a Smoky Quartz point for the first group. I have an eagle that is carved out of Goldstone for the second group. And for the third group, I have this Fluorite. Really beautiful bands of colors there. Okay, so if you're in the first group and you've chosen this Smoky Quartz, let's go ahead and get your week ahead message from our botanical deck. So we'll have a flower here that will talk to us about our week ahead. And keep in mind, these messages are timeless whenever you come upon this reading. Is the perfect time that your spirit guides would like to help you out with these messages for the week ahead? Okay. And for this first group, you guys have the yellow rose. And the yellow rose is about enthusiasm and friendship. There's a sweet quote here that says, "A single rose can be my garden, a single friend, my world." So since you also chose the Smoky Quartz, I'm feeling like there might be a need to ground your energy. They're also talking about clearing out, maybe decluttering some things. And since we have the yellow rose about friendship, I'm getting in the next week, there's going to be a friend or someone close to you. This could also be a relative that kind of reads as friend energy, that could help you with this clearing. So an example of this is maybe you're moving and you need some help moving. Or maybe you're working on something, some kind of issue, and you're able to talk it out with this friend and just kind of clear the energy that no longer serves you out of your life. So that's a beautiful message for the week ahead. Let me see if they're saying anything else. This is just an intuitive message I'm getting. They're talking about the thorns on the rose, and they're just saying to treat the friendship with loving care. Yeah. Just gratitude for the friendship. So when this yellow rose, this friend shows up to cheer you up with the yellow, Spirit wants you to let them know how much that means to you. So if somebody helps you out with your issue or helps you move if you're moving for some reason that's coming up, to just let them know, hey, that really meant so much to me that you were here for me. Thank you so much. One other message they're talking about is the yellow on the rose. I know the card says enthusiasm and friendship, but this also has to do with the solar plexus. So maybe there is some healing that you're taking care of with self-esteem and confidence. Yeah, and they're talking about maybe a challenge with overthinking. The way they're saying it is a lot like running around upstairs, like in your head. So Spirit wants to let you know to not overthink it, that it's okay to feel confident. They want you to feel confident, and you have this beautiful friendship energy surrounding you for the next week. So that was your week ahead message for group number 1 with the Smoky Quartz. I did want to show you these crystals because they've been sitting on a healing altar of mine. So they're like charged up with all this beautiful healing energy. All right. Okay, group number 2, if you chose this Goldstone Eagle, let's get your week ahead message. All right. And for you, we have the crocus. Oh, this is another cheerful message. It says, cheerfulness, it's spring again. The earth is like a child that knows poems by heart. Oh, this is so sweet. So this is reminding me of inner child energy. So Spirit's talking about nurturing the inner child. And since you have the Goldstone here to support you for the week, this corresponds to two different chakras I'm feeling. The sacral chakra, which is all about like creativity and passion, and also the solar plexus, which is like confidence and self-esteem. So the message is allowing your inner child to be creative. There's an invitation to think back to your childhood and about things that you used to do that you really loved. So maybe it was like something artistic, maybe like painting. Or if you played outside a lot and picked flowers, maybe it's gardening or just getting yourself some fresh cut flowers. But Spirit's inviting you to cheer up your inner child, to nurture. Also the word reparent is being brought up again, to nurture that inner child for the week, because the inner child has a lot to do with your cheerfulness, if you're honoring that inner child or not. So that is your main message of the week. Group number 2, I do feel like you have one more in here. Let's see what goes with the inner child work. All right, and the second message is hibiscus, beauty and happiness. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. And there's your hibiscus. And I feel like they're also talking about feminine health as well, if you identify as feminine. And they're making me feel like I need to drink tea. That's super specific. So maybe there's something about like tea time, or maybe having like a tea party, something like that, something really sweet, to just kind of reinvigorate that inner child and just let that inner child know that you love the inner child, that the child's not alone, and that what they want and what they feel is really important and that they're heard. So that was a beautiful, nurturing message for group number 2. And I was just about to end it, but they've got something else to say about the breath. And I feel the need to take a pause and focus on the breathing. So maybe there's some kind of breathing exercises that would be good for you. I feel like maybe before bed or right after you wake up. Or maybe breath work could be really powerful for you as well. So those are your messages for the week ahead, group number 2. Thank you so much for watching. All right, and lovely group number 3s, if you chose this fluorite stone, let's see, we've got purple up here and this beautiful kind of like turquoise down here. If you chose that and you're in group number 3, let's get your weekly message from the flower deck. I'm already getting that maybe if you're in group number 3, I feel like there's something that you've been waiting for, something that's kind of taking longer than expected. Let's see what Spirit has to say about that. Okay, I'm going to try my best to say this. I think it's Gloxinia, those beautiful downturned flowers. And you have a butterfly up here. Oh, that's beautiful. So some kind of transformation. So Gloxinia, love at first sight and proud spirit. And there's a Shakespeare quote, when I saw you, I fell in love, and you smiled because you knew. Let's see. This is really funny because not everybody knows this about me, but I have 2 master's degrees in Shakespeare, and I don't think Shakespeare said that. So I feel like there's something not quite lining up, and I feel like that's part of the message. Let's see what Spirit's saying. They're saying not everything may be as it seems. And I feel like it's in a good way. So maybe something has happened and it seems like it's over, like the situation has ended. Or this could have to do with someone in your life who says things to you that don't quite line up and you're kind of like, what is happening? Yeah, Spirit's saying not everything is as it seems, but that there's another message that's waiting to come through. Okay, let's see. This is an interesting one, group number 3. What's going on? Okay. Your second card fell on the ground. Interesting. We have Garden Heliotrope, Devotion and Dreams Fulfilled. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, so that's a great clarifier for this message. So if this has already happened, I feel like there's somebody who's significant in your life who has said something to you that made you feel like a decision has been made or something. It feels like it would feel like, oh, okay, there's no turning back. This has been concluded. But Spirit's saying, maybe not. And I know that they're kind of being vague about it. So this maybe a couple people chose this last group. But they're saying the focus here is really this one is the second one that has to do with you. And it's devotion and dreams fulfilled. So this really has to do with maybe someone has told you that something's not possible or that something's not going to happen. And Spirit's saying, you know what? They don't get to make decisions for you, you know? And what matters most is you and your dreams and your devotion to your own life, to what you really want and what you need. And when you're aligned with that, Spirit makes things happen in ways that maybe don't make sense to everybody else, but it doesn't have to, right? So they're just saying, and they're being really cheeky about this. So I don't know what's going on in group number 3, but you got something kind of neat coming up, it feels like. Yeah, they're saying, don't take everything at face value. That's what it is. I was trying to figure out what one of the words they were saying. I was like, face? What? So not everything is at face value. The rest is still unwritten is another phrase that just came in. So whatever's going on, the story's not over. And even if you don't know how or when or what you need to do to make it happen, Spirit's like, I got you. I'm here. Don't worry about it. So group number 3, I don't know what's going on, but Spirit wants you to know that they have your back. So here is your healing crystal. Once more, here's the fluorite, just to share that with you. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Oh, Connie, I'm so glad you could join us. Thank you for coming live. I hope these messages have resonated with you. And also, for weekly messages, you know, if something resonates or something happens, do let me know. I would love to know that Spirit's messages are coming through loud and clear. And I will see you next time. Have a great week.